Hey guys, so today we are going to be starting something new and exciting. We are starting a new series on the channel. This will be the first thing that we've done that does not involve our dairy goats directly, but it is for their new Livestock Guardian, and you can probably hear him in the background, but let me introduce you to the new member of the herd. Abel. So this is Abel. Hey, buddy. Hi. This is Abel. Abel is a Great Pyrenees Anatolian mix. So he is a mixture of the breeds that Kane and Amara both are. Although he is not their puppy. Kane is fixed. So we decided to get a mix of the two breeds that we currently already have in the hopes that we would get a puppy that combines the best attributes of both breeds. We really like how easygoing Kane is, but we also like the low maintenance that Amara is. You know, Kane has such thick hair, he mats very easily, so we're constantly having to brush him. Let me sit down. So we're constantly having to brush Kane, and with Amara, we don't have to do anything special with her fur. Kane was a lot easier to train than Amara was also, mostly because Great Pyrenees tend to be a little bit more people friendly, you know, a little bit more eager to please, at least as far as Livestock Guardian breeds go. The Anatolian Shepherds, like Amara, they are a little bit more standoffish. They are used more for like human predators, to keep strangers off of your property. So that is why we have her in with our bucks and we have Kane in with our does, because the buck field that we have is right beside two different roads and we can't monitor it as closely as we can the doe field, which is in our backyard. But anyways, with Abel, we are hoping that he combines those qualities. He is easy to train, low maintenance as far as his coat goes, but also smart and confident, like we want our livestock dogs to be, because Kane is 8 years old now, so it will not be long before he starts slowing down, unfortunately. Kane has been with us since we first started with goats. He is the absolute bestest boy, so we really didn't want to have to think about, you know, what's going to happen when Kane is gone, but unfortunately that is the reality of it. So it takes the Livestock Guardian puppies about a whole 2 to 3 years to fully grow and be able to protect your herd. So by the time he is 2, Kane, if he is still with us, will be 10. So by then, he will definitely be ready to retire. So the plan is to have Abel work with him while he can, learn from Kane, hopefully, and take over for Kane once he reaches maturity. But as you see, that is going to take quite some time. Now, he is about 7 weeks old. Livestock Guardian puppies, they do grow extremely quickly, especially when they are getting goat milk with their feed like mine do. But right now, he is just a tiny little floof ball. Yeah, he's a tiny little floof ball. So his training is going to be a series that we're going to do on the channel. So we have had Abel for 2 weeks now, and in this video we're basically going to go over what we have done in these 2 weeks. And of course, I want to preface this by saying this is how we train our dogs. I have trained the 2 that we currently have this way. That's my only experience with Livestock Guardians. I'm not saying that my way is the only way or the best way, but this is just how we do it. Okay, so let's kind of go over what we did as soon as we brought Abel home. Okay, so we have Abel set up in one of our birthing / kid retention / you know, whatever it needs to be stalls. And he also has the our goat kids doghouse right now. Normally my dogs do not take dog houses once they're grown. They have, you know, fur and closed shelters to get in with the goats, so we don't usually give them their own dog houses because they won't use them. But with livestock Gaurdian puppies, you really want them to have a safe place. You really want them to have an area all their own where the stock can't bother them, where they feel safe, especially if you are bringing them home and, you know, it's the first time they're away from their families. You know, they're not going to be with you full time, because when they come home, we put our dogs outside right away. You know, they're born outside normally, they're raised outside. That's what you want. You want a dog that is been introduced at least to livestock, whose parents are working animals, and that's what Abel was. So he's used to being outside, but he's used to being outside with his mom and his siblings. So when he came home, we had the doghouse set up for him already, and he learned quickly that was his safe place. So the first day that we had Abel, we only left him in this stall. Basically what we do when we bring our puppies home is we go at their speed. We want to build confidence in our puppies. We do not want them to be afraid of livestock. We do not want them to be afraid of, you know, their home. And we definitely don't want them to be afraid of us. So when we're first starting out with our puppies, we don't really do anything until we feel that they are ready. And by that, I mean that they have gotten acclimated to being away from their siblings. They're exploring their stall and, you know, not timid. We give them a few days just to warm up to us. And of course, in the meantime, the goats are right outside of the stall, so he can see them, he can smell them, but we don't have to worry about him getting stepped on or hurt, or, you know, anything happening that might hinder him being, or anything happening to him that may hinder him from being a confident pup. So it was about 3 days when I felt like Abel was ready to go out and meet the herd. For the first few days, he just stayed in here. Like I said, he has to stay in the stall when we're not out with him, because he can get through our fences. So he could get out and possibly get into the road, or, you know, get in with the goats that could hurt him. You know, he could get himself into a mess of trouble. So he stays in the stall for now. He will be turned out into this whole area here as soon as he's large enough not to go through the holes in our fences. Okay, so then we took him out to introduce him to the goats. He's a little bit frisky today. This is the first time he's been able to get out today because the weather has just been atrocious here. So he hasn't got to run around or anything. So he's a little bit riled up right now. But yeah, we introduced him to the herd, to the goats. So Abel comes with us while we do chores every morning and afternoon. That is his time to be out with the herd and to get used to being around the goats and the chickens and learning our daily routine. Other than that, he stays in his stall because, again, he can get through our fencing, and 2, because when you have a livestock Gaurdian puppy, probably the worst thing in the world you could do is just bring them home and throw them out with the livestock. First of all, your livestock is not going to be happy about that. They are maybe used to the dogs that they see every day, but if you bring a new animal in, it's a completely new animal, and they're not going to be happy. They're going to, you know, be stressed out about that. So we don't want to cause our goats any more stress than we have to with introducing a new puppy to them. And, you know, we also do not want the puppy himself to be in a place where he maybe becomes afraid of the stock. You know, you want these goats to be his friends in the long run. You want him to feel like he is part of the herd. So he just follows us around and follows Kane around while we are out here with him. Kane does not exactly, he's not exactly in love with him, but he does tolerate him well. Every now and then Kane will get spunky and try to play with him. I think the main issue is Abel thinks that Kane is his mama. So that's probably part of the reason why Kane does not particularly like him, because Abel seems to think that he has milk somewhere. But you can see how he's interacting with all of our animals. He is not afraid of them. He is... Kane, hello. Hello, Kane. Yeah, see, he really thinks Kane is his mama. I don't blame Kane for not liking him too much. So for the most part, this is all we've been doing with him. Now, within the last few days, he has gotten really adventurous. He does not want to come when he's called. He wants to just go out and explore and do his own thing. So that is a signal to me that it is about time that he starts leash training and working on his recall. So that'll be the next thing that we do. The most important thing to remember is that he is just a baby. You know, we can't expect anything out of him right now, but him to be a puppy. We can't expect him to guard anything. We can't expect him to even know his name, honestly. So right now, nothing is a reflection of him. Take training at their pace. I kind of made that mistake with Amara. I tried to train her too quickly, and we've had some trust issues because of it. These dogs are, Livestock Guardian breeds are extremely intelligent, and they have like the best memories of any dogs I've ever seen. If they have any kind of negative experience, they will remember it, and they will not forgive and forget. You know, if they're a more timid dog, then it might take more than 2 weeks. It might take a month or so before they are ready to actually start any type of training. It might take a week or two before you're able to actually take them out with the stock, depending on your puppy's personality. I will say, in my experience, male dogs tend to be a little bit easier to own and to train. They are a little bit more forgiving than the females, but it really all depends on what your circumstances are for your farm, and what you're looking for. And as far as breeds go, that depends on a few factors too. One being, you know, what is available in your area. Around here, about the only dogs that you're going to find that are livestock breeds are Great Pyrenees and Anatolian Shepherds. Set yourself up for success. Do not get a Livestock Guardian that is a mix of anything other than Livestock Guardian breeds. Prime example of this is, do not get a Great Pyrenees mixed with an Australian Shepherd. That might be a good all-around farm dog, but for an actual purpose Livestock Guardian, something's got them on alert right now. I don't see it. but they have better vision than I do, so. But yes, for an actual purpose livestock guardian that is going to live full-time with your animals, that you don't want hurting your animals, you don't want to get them mixed with a breed that is not a livestock guardian breed, because you can't predict what genetics are going to influence that puppy's personality. If you have your livestock guardian mixed with a shepherding dog, you might have a guardian that herds your animals, that's constantly biting at their ankles and running them, which is causing them stress. If you have a guardian that is mixed with a Labrador, you know, you probably aren't going to have a good bird dog. You're probably never going to be able to train that dog to be okay with poultry, to live full time with your poultry. And then I've seen just about every mix out there of livestock guardian. Another example is you do not want to get a livestock guardian breed that is mixed with a pit bull or a husky. You know, yes, those can be fine dogs, you know, for pets, for general farm dogs that, you know, just walk with you and, you know, whatever, just stay outside of the general area if you want. But those dogs are very high energy. You do not want a high energy dog with your livestock, because again, they're going to be chasing them. They are going to want to play because they have so much excess energy. So they're going to be running your stock constantly, and that's going to be causing them stress. And stress can cause problems with fertility, with abortions, miscarriages, you know. Stress can cause them to lose weight. Stress can cause all sorts of bad things that you don't want. Plus, if your husky mix or pit mix is chasing, trying to play with your livestock, they could end up hurting them. So if you're going to get a mix, make sure it's a mix of just livestock breeds, so they have a better chance of having those instincts and being the best dog that they can possibly be. A little bit is running around in the background. In case you're wondering, don't chill now. Quit, Abel. Hey, no. You didn't have to go, Kane. See, sometimes Kane gets spunky and tries to play with him. Alright, so that is about it as far as what we've done with Abel so far. It really isn't a lot to begin with. The first few weeks, like I said, you're just introducing them to your herd. You're introducing them to your routine. You want them to build confidence and be set up to be successful little dogs sometime in the future. You have a whole 2 years to train your livestock dogs before they turn 2, 2.5, maybe even 3. It took Amara 3 years. But until they turn 3, you don't really want to judge your dog too harshly. You don't want to say, oh, well, they're a dud. They don't protect my poultry. I can't keep them out there full time. You know, it's just going to be, usually I hear people say it's like a switch goes off in their heads. It's like one day they are running around and trying to chase your livestock down and just being bad little puppies, and then the next day they're just the most perfect guardian. So we're gonna see how it goes with him. He might be like Kane and be super easy to train, and he never hurts an animal and we have the best time with him, or he could be like Amara and it take a lot longer for him to be livestock safe. But either way, we are going to set him up for success. That's what we've been doing the last few weeks, and we will continue to do so. these goats are going to start kidding in the next few weeks, so he will be introduced to that. We're also going to start his leash and collar training soon. That will be the next video in this series about Abel and training your livestock guardian dog. We really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and comment down below, and would like to see future videos about Abel or our herd of Nubian dairy goats, then please don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.